Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would drink some coffee and do a little craftsmanship while I chat with you guys this morning as I wake up. Alright, one of the things that I always find interesting about training and having any sort of fitness lifestyle and just making this part of your lifestyle is that over time, when your goals change, so does your training. Meaning you have the option, the flexibility with whatever you do to not be stuck into something rigid, that your training is just part of your lifestyle at the end of the day, and you can always adapt and change what you do. This is one of the reasons that I tell people who don't compete to not get caught into these dogmatic mindsets of labeling yourself. And the reason I say that, don't label yourself if you're not really serious about it as something you're going to compete in, maybe even for money in some way. Labeling yourselves, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a power lifter, or anything else, a physique artist, whatever you want to call yourself. Don't limit yourself in with these things, because what you're going to find is that over the years, because most of you, if you're serious enough about your training to sit around watching YouTube training videos or YouTube fitness videos in general, I'm going to assume this is probably going to be a lifelong endeavor for you. That is that way for many people. And what you'll notice over the years, you'll see two types of people in the gym training who've been doing it more than a decade or 2 decades. You'll find the people who get stagnant and locked in and just do the same thing no matter what their life goals are without really thinking about it anymore, because it's just what they're comfortable with. And they'll just say, well, you know, I've always been an X, I've always been a Y, so this is just what I do. This is what I'm comfortable with. And there's nothing wrong with that if it makes you happy and it's what you enjoy and it's not hurting you. It's certainly better than being sedentary. I think anyone would agree with that. Oops. Let's flip this over and see if you guys can hear me a little better. Sorry, my microphone was flipped the other way. And I'm only going to have time to shoot one video this morning on my way out the door somewhere. So they do that, and again, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would like to suggest an alternative, and that is the alternative of not locking yourself into one thing or one style, because you realize that fitness can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, and ultimately your training and what you do in the gym and with your weightlifting and cardio and everything else is something that should be goal-oriented. It should be dynamic. And your choices in life and what you want out of life at any given time, you can adjust what you do in the gym accordingly. It's not going to hurt your gains or anything for the most part. You'll at least keep what you have if you just change your style completely for some other reason. Unless you're getting so old that obviously you're losing muscle mass. And that's generally going to be unavoidable. Speaking of which, like I saw Frank Zane, who you guys know, he's changed his style over the years. His life goals changed when he quit competing in bodybuilding. And up in his 60s, the dude still looked ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Pretty shocking for someone in his 60s, like in his early 60s, the stuff I saw. Guy didn't look so different from what he did as a Mr. Olympia. But then obviously a decade later, when he reached his 70s, he started losing quite a bit more muscle mass. He looked different, but he still looked to be in great shape. And I'm sure his training has changed. So point is, you're going to lose some of it no matter what. But at the end of the day, your training can change based upon your life goals and what it is that you're trying to do. Maybe at a certain threshold in your life, you don't care about gaining new muscle mass. Maybe you don't care about gaining new strength outside of something that's going to help you and be useful. Let's say you pick up a new sport or a new hobby, and you realize that there's something you could do in the gym that would make you better at it. Let's say you really take up golf. I used to play golf. I'm not that big of a fan anymore. I could see myself playing it again one day, but your golf game. Let's say you really get into golf because you find it's useful in a corporate environment or for your job or just as a relaxing hobby, but you want to get better at it. And then you start doing some reading and researching and finding out there are things you could be doing in the gym that could improve your golf game. Because again, most guys who lift, when we take up anything competitive, We tend to be competitive people, and we want to beat other people at anything that we do, that we're seriously involved in, and it could be golf for you. And accordingly, you start changing what you're doing in the gym to improve your golf game, to increase your swing speed with your club, and all of that. And you find that that actually ends up taking up about 50% of your gym time is stuff focused on doing that, and you can scale the other stuff back to accommodate that. And again, that's looking at it dynamically. I wouldn't say that you should then just label yourself a golfer and lock yourself completely into that style, because golf is just one thing that you probably do. But you could absolutely adapt your training to improve your golf game, and since you're stronger and fitter than most of the people you're probably playing golf with, and now you're training specifically to get better at it, you might find yourself beating people. Find that it's useful. And that's what I mean, that's dynamic. We're going to pick up new activities in life that are going to affect our goals, even just other hobbies. And what we do in the gym can oftentimes cross over, can make us better at these other things that we are trying to do. And if we can do that, then why not? No point leaving your training stagnant. Adjust your training based on your goals. Adjust your training based upon your lifestyle and time. There are going to be times in your life where having energy and feeling better and not being sore or tired is going to become more important to you than gaining more muscle mass or doing whatever it is you have been doing for the last decade in the gym. And so therefore probably your training volumes, intensities, workloads, everything else are hopefully going to change at that point. It's just common sense that they would. And you're going to make reasonable adaptations. And again, that's about being dynamic in your training and not locking yourself into something and saying, this is what I have to do because this is what I've always done. Your life is going to be more fulfilling if what you do in the gym, because again, as long as you're doing something, you're still better off than 97% of the population who are out of shape, sedentary. If you're in the gym doing anything consistently, you're still winning the race. You're still probably going to be healthier. You're going to be better off than everyone else. So at least you're in there doing something. But yeah, changing what you're doing based upon your goals. And it could be for anything that you do in life, because over the years we are going to pick up new hobbies. We're going to pick up new activities that we love doing, and therefore sometimes we'll need to take away some of our gym time to do it, and sometimes we will find that our gym time will be useful, and our gym time that we do have can be better spent with different activities that are going to improve our game, our golf game, or ability to shoot 3-gun competition, or tennis, or whatever else it is that we pick up. Throughout life, you're going to pick up so many new hobbies, something younger guys here don't always grasp. They don't always think about. They don't realize that they will pick up new hobbies and interests as they age. There are things that you're going to enjoy when you're 30 or 40 or 50 that you had never even thought you would get into when you were 18 or 20. And that's just part of living a fulfilling life. And your training and fitness goals can be dynamic around that and actually facilitate that and make you better at doing the things that you want to do, as long as you're willing to adapt and you don't lock yourself into this idea permanently that I'm a so-and-so and so this is what I do in the gym, or this is what I've always done and got good results, so it's what I'm always going to do. Be flexible, be adaptable, be willing to change what you do with your training to facilitate the rest of your lifestyle. And at the end of the day, if you're willing to do that, you're actually going to find that you're going to be happier with everything that you get out of life in total. And you're going to find probably you're going to be more fit anyways, because if you're changing physical activities and hobbies around that you do, and then you're adapting your training in the gym to make yourself better at those, you're just improving your overall fitness anyways. And that's what fitness is all about. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.